Let's jump into right away. I just want to jump in and get going here. What is the missing link that a lot of parents don't have, aren't doing, are missing that's holding their child back with learning how to read? And once you realize it, it hopefully is going to be a little bit of a aha moment for you. I'm hoping to get a little aha. And if I do, I want you to let me know because it just makes me excited. And that means we're moving in the right direction. Imagine you want your child to learn how to play the piano. Are you just going to have your child listen to someone playing the piano over and over and over again to learn how to play the piano? Or are you going to get them in lessons, or maybe and you can teach them yourself and teach them exactly what notes to play, how to read the notes on the paper, how to put the notes together? What makes more sense, listening or teaching them each note and then gradually working your way up to playing songs? You could also, here's another analogy for this. Your child really wants to learn how to play basketball. Are you just going to have them watch basketball? Just sit down and, okay, just watch basketball, watch other people play, and then you're going to be good to go. Or are you going to teach them one thing at a time? Okay, let's practice our shooting motions. Let's practice our dribbling. Let's practice passing, and then eventually kind of weave all these skills together until they're ready to play a game. Hopefully for both of these situations, you said the latter, you said the second option, where you're not just having them listen or watch and expecting them to know how to play the piano or expecting them to be ready to play in a game. They have to practice skills and then learn to weave those skills together. And this is where I see the missing link is for a lot of families, is they read to their kids all the time, which is a great thing. I'm not saying stop reading to your kids. Just like you should listen to piano music if you want to learn, and you should watch basketball, but that's not going to teach you how to be independent. Okay. Reading to your children, it's going to expand their vocabularies. It's going to teach them new things for background knowledge. It's very bonding. It's wonderful, but it's not going to turn them into independent readers. We have to be able to break down the skills into smaller sizes and then weave those skills together, just like you would if you were playing the piano, just like you would if you're learning to play basketball. It's the same thing. Learning to read is learning a skill, just like anything else. Right? Tying your shoe. Your kids can't just watch someone tie a shoe. Most of the time, you have to teach them, the crossover and the rainbow ears one step at a time, and they weave it together, right? It's the exact same thing. We could do it about any skill. And reading is no different. So the missing link that parents go through a lot is they focus just on the whole picture, reading to their kids so their kids can listen to stories, but they don't get into the nitty gritty of how do you read this? And that's exactly what we do for families when they join any of our programs is we do the breaking down for you. We do the teaching of each individual skill. We help weave it together so that your child can become an independent reader. You can be there to be their cheerleader. We get to be there to teach them and be their coach. You get to be the cheerleader and you get to be a part of the process without having to do any of the hard work. We want to take this off your plate. We don't want to add something else to your plate. We want to take it off because you have enough on your plate. But we want to fill that missing link because that's what we see, as teachers when working in the school. We saw so many times parents just begging, what can I do to help my child? I want to help. But they weren't reading experts. And you shouldn't have to be a reading expert. Let's just be honest. You shouldn't have to go and learn how to teach your kids to read. You should have someone who is passionate and excited and knows how to do it and has done it before, doing it for you where you get to be along for the ride. And that is what we want to provide for families. We want to fill in that missing link. Your kids are not just listening to stories. They're not just watching basketball games or listening to piano, whatever analogy you want to go with, whatever resonates with you. We're teaching them the nitty gritty, helping them integrate it so that they can become strong, fluent, confident, independent readers, all the things we want for our kids. So that is how we help families. And that is, if you're missing that, if you're like, well, I do read to my child every night, but we've never really talked about why is this word? And how do we read fluently? And how do I help them break apart words and put words together? All that stuff. If you're like, I don't know how to do that, reach out to us. Let us know. This is like literally our favorite thing to do is to help get kids reading, support families, and make it super fun and super easy. So that is my tip for you this time. Find that missing link. If all you're doing is reading to your kids, that's awesome. Keep reading to your kids. But find a way to break down the skills, just like if you are having them learn an instrument, learn a sport, you want to teach them skill by skill and integrate it together. And that's what's going to turn them into an independent reader. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.